VJ from Panoptic Design Consulting, a structural engineer, to come and do a site inspection, and he's just going to say a few words on what's happening inside the project from a structural engineer point of view.
Thanks, Tisha. So what we're doing here is the property is being converted into flats. Effectively, the ground floor was a commercial, which is having a change of use into a ground floor flat. We're adding an additional story to the top, so we're removing the existing roof structure and installing new structure on the roof above, and to support the floor, to support new floor loading, which was originally attic space. At the moment, we're on site. The builders are doing demolition work to take out the existing finishes, and which is all going to be upgraded for and enhanced for the future use of the property to be flats, to be converted into flats. The top two floors are already a single flat, but they're being converted into individual flats now. So everything's going to be upgraded to suit, and structurally everything's going to be enhanced and strengthened. It's quite an old property. It's about early 1900s, so we can see with the demolition work a lot of the existing original timbers and timber beams are all in fairly good condition considering, but we're looking to enhance it and strengthen it where needed, and to support the future longevity of the building itself. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing structurally.
And how many site inspections do you think you might need to have throughout the project?
I'd say we'll probably end up doing one every few weeks. It kind of depends on the site, so it depends how much assistance the builder needs. Normally it's the case if the builder finds something different on site, or they find an issue on site, then we'll come and have a look. But a lot of the time the building control inspector will have their intermediate inspections anyway, so a lot of the time we'll kind of work around that or come at the same time as the building inspector. So yeah.
This video is the first video that we're doing, a short kind of vlog series on the process of converting a commercial building into flats, into residential flats. This building behind us used to be a funeral director's shop on the bottom, on the ground floor, and then upstairs was a flat. We've got planning permission to convert it into 3 flats. We're trying to improve that planning permission by doing another application to make it into 4 flats. The builders started this week, and I wanted to kind of go through the process of how it's done and the potential opportunities that there are in London to convert these kind of defunct commercial premises into something usable for people to kind of convert even the shop itself. Most properties, it's difficult to even convert the whole shop, the front of the shop as well. In this area, because it's kind of a side parade, not on the main high street, although the main high street is down that side, because it's a side parade, the council have approved this to be fully residential, as well as our neighbours on this side. It's a block of flats, and then there's only 1 or 2 shops further down this parade here. So I just wanted to go through the process, taking you around, having interviews with the structural engineer, and the whole process of what the difference is between property investment and property development. So in a sense, it's kind of a vlog journey to kind of help document that process. Okay, so we're starting off with the outside of the property. I'm going to do a full walkthrough of the whole building, room by room, with a general outline of what the design and plan element is. So obviously it's going to be quite dusty, and got builders and stuff working at the moment, but we'll try to have a look and see what it looks like before, and then what the plan should be after. So yeah, follow me. So here we've got the entrance hallway. There's going to be a partition wall going all the way down here in the middle. There's going to be kind of like a utility area here, which is basically for the electric and gas meters over here, and the water meters as well. So yeah, as you can see, there's all of this rubbish that's come out because this is all from the site demolition. So if I come through one of the front room here, this is actually going to become a bedroom. We're planning on this window, and the outside area is going to be blocked up, and there's going to be one big UPVC window at the front. So in terms of like sound insulation and we will need to, these ceiling heights are quite high, so there's about 3.2 meters high in the ceiling, and in that gap there will need to have, in that void, we've got a sound consultant come and check to say how much, you know, sound insulation is needed, what exactly is needed, and that's part of the process. You're allowed to actually do the site demolition and all of that first. In terms of the process, you're required to have, you know, building control sign off, you're required to have, you know, obviously planning permission granted. We have that, but in terms of the building control, when they first come and check what's going on, it's at the point when you start digging the foundations, which is probably going to start next week. So yeah, at this area here, all of this this will all be removed completely. There's just a void at the back there. There was a chimney here, but I think the previous owners had already removed it. But throughout the whole property, all the chimneys have been removed. Will be removed. We had to get a party wall surveyor to come to the neighbour's property and just check, you know, the condition of their walls to make sure that when we're doing our work, it doesn't like damage their walls, and if it does, that we'll be liable for fixing those issues. So yeah, I'm just going to carry on going through to the next rooms. So yeah, we're going to follow me around. There's just obviously like a hill of rubble at the moment. Due to this being called hardcore rubble, like bricks and concrete blocks and stuff like that, this can't go in one of these vans, which is like a normal man in a van type of like pickup trucks. These rubbish trucks can only pick up certain rubbish, like, you know, doors and you know things which are not hardcore. So I think we've applied for a skip license, and we're getting the skips to come hopefully in the next 3 days. It takes about 3 days for that license to come through. Once that comes, then we can get rid of all of this hardcore rubbish which is currently here, which we're just going to walk over. Downstairs we probably won't go through right now because it's quite blocked, but we'll go upstairs. So this staircase is going to all be removed as well eventually. Pretty much everything is going to be removed. It's going to all go fully back to brick, so the plasterboard is going to be removed. You know, all the way, the ceilings have been removed. So if you see on site where we're at right now, this is one of the rooms. Okay, so this room here is going to actually become a bedroom with a balcony going out onto the outside, because on the ground floor we're doing a 5.5 meter extension, so each flat in a sense should have some kind of outside space, and this will have like a nice opening here which will be for the balcony. In this bedroom here they'll also have an ensuite bathroom next door, and obviously we'll try to do the finish as nice and modern as possible, with it being all brand new from scratch. So yeah, we can go through now to the next room. Yeah. So over here there'll be an ensuite bathroom, and so this staircase is going to be as it is, and this will be the entrance to the flat. Actually, this door here will be the entrance to the flat. This will be blocked off. As you come in the entrance of the flat, there's going to be a little corridor here going down to the backside, so it'll be self-contained, you know, so there'll be a little staircase down there. This will be broken, and there'll be stairs going down into that bedroom, as I said before. Then this room here is also, we're planning on moving the wall. That wall is going to come somewhere around here, and this is actually going to become a bathroom, this whole area here. So as you can see, the chimney has been removed all the way to the top. With the party wall person, he said that we need to keep the chimney stack at the top just because it's the neighbour is actually using their fireplace as a solid fire, so technically we can't remove, as it's a joint thing between the two, so we can't remove it. We just have to work around it. So yeah, this area will be the bathroom. Up to there will be like a staircase going down, and then I'll just walk you through to the next room. This will be like an open plan living room kitchen, so that will be back a little bit, and then all the way along there there'll be like an L-shaped kitchen in this area, and then this side here will be kind of like a dining area for the table and chairs, and then the area on that side will be more like a sofa and TV kind of area on that side. So yeah, that's the design. We wanted to try to maximize the space as much as possible by doing this open plan layout. In terms of the square footage, the width of this is 5 meters, the width of the room, and then the length of it will become as well, I think around about 6 meters from the window all the way to that wall there. So a 30 square meter kitchen living room area, which would be ideal, you know, for a 1-bedroom flat. Yeah, so then we can go upstairs and have a look at the next floor. So as this is a conservation area, we have to make sure that the facade on the outside looks the same as it does to the neighboring properties. So when we do potentially change these windows, we need to make sure it's in line with the neighbors as well. These are like potentially like a sash style window. So yeah, we'll need to keep that in mind. Potentially, with some of my projects in the past, you know, I've done conversions from 1 to 2-bedroom flats. After, we could enhance, because for planning purposes, we need a minimum of 50 square meters for a 1-bedroom flat. If after planning is all been done or been signed off, in the future, potentially a partition wall could be placed here to add an extra bedroom to make it into 2 bedrooms rather than 1. So we've already got the 1 bedroom at the back with a balcony. Then you've got the 1 bedroom as well, potentially here as well in this kitchen living room area, because kitchen living room area is quite big. So that's an enhancement that would also add value to the property if we were to add an extra bedroom here. But for now, we're just going to follow the plans for planning permission and for finance, and for if we do decide to refinance, to keep it to the plans as much as possible. So now that we've done this strip out as well, we have had to get our structural engineer to come to ensure that when you go to see the property, you don't know what's behind the walls, what's behind the ceilings. You don't really know until you actually remove it. So once we've now actually removed all of those walls and floors, we can see that there wasn't actually a steel beam in the middle of the house. Normally there's a steel structural beam in the middle that will support the whole house itself, but they've only used a wooden beam rather than a steel beam. So that's now helpful, so that the engineer can now design where and what size the beam should be and what needs to be done structurally. So we've got an interview with the structural engineer who came on site, and he will give some of his thinking of what he's going to be doing. And we've also got those building regulation drawings that he'll be designing, that we'll be talking about later on. So yeah, we can go upstairs to the next floor and have a look. So as we come up to the second floor of the property, again, this was a duplex flat before. Now this is going to be another 1-bedroom flat, as was what it was downstairs. Almost like a mirror image of the first floor will be on the second floor. So the entrance to the flat will be via this door here. This will be like a corridor where you'll have staircase going down there, a door here going into the kitchen living room. So that's how we've designed it to try to maximize the space. So you're walking into a corridor, which will allow you to kind of, access all of the rooms. According to planning, you have to have a minimum storage space requirement for each flat. So there might be like maybe a 1.5 meters squared storage cupboard for the flat. This side here in this corner, we're going to have the bathroom, same as downstairs, and then stairs going down, and we're building a 4 meter by 3 meter extension on the second floor. But through the window, there is already an extension outside. So above that, we're going to be doing a 4 meter by 3 meter extension. So that's all going to be done for the bedroom there, which will also have a balcony, same as downstairs. So it'll be a smaller balcony, but have a very small balcony as well. Yeah, in terms of like works that have been done so far, it's been like 1 week so far. They've kind of removed everything. They've got 6 people working on site today and every day for the last week or so. And yeah, we'll go through to the next room. This room here will be the open plan living room kitchen. As you go up the floors, the ceiling height slightly goes down, but it's still really, really good. Here it's like 2.8 meters ceiling height. So there's plenty of room for sound insulation, fire insulation. Here they still haven't removed the chimney yet, but that will be removed as well. So it just maximizes the space of the room by that extra, 30 centimeters. As I said before, getting the party wall agreement is extremely important to make sure that when they're removing the walls, it doesn't affect the neighbor's side. So that extra 30 centimeters there, extra 30 centimeters there, just gives that feeling of extra space for this open plan living room kitchen to have enough space for, utilizing that space. So in the same way, this is going to be a 1-bedroom flat on the top floor, on the second floor. Then we've got the plans to do another floor above this, up into the loft. So this is going to be a mansard loft conversion. On the floor above this, which obviously doesn't exist yet, but we are going to be doing a mansard loft conversion. What that means is that it's going to have a dormer kind of on both sides. So it's going to be full height ceiling on each side, rather than having a slope ceiling, which is what a normal dormer would like, one side dormer, or is this going to have a fully full height ceilings on both sides. And in that top floor, currently it's showing on the plans as a duplex flat. So this will be on the second and third floor duplex, but we're trying to obtain planning permission to convert it actually into its own separate studio flat. So you need to have a minimum of 37 meters squared for a studio flat. So I've asked my architect and structural engineer to make the plans to the council to improve that from a three flat project into a four flat project. In terms of the GDV, it should improve significantly, but in terms of the works that are required to add an additional flat, we've got to factor an additional electricity meter, an extra water meter, and obviously street name and numbering, telling the council to say that there's going to be an extra flat, another application for that. So in terms of the extra works, there will be extra costs involved for doing that extra flat, having the separate door, having a separate kitchen upstairs, having a separate bathroom upstairs. So there's extra cost on materials as well for that extra flat. But overall, it should still be worth doing the extra flat, because the value of that flat on its own compared to the value of 2 flats versus the value of 1 flat should be higher. So we had to do what's called a red book valuation done, where the surveyor came when we did the development finance, that he agreed that the value of the 3 flats was as to what we were expecting, which is excellent. And I'm hoping that at the end of this project, we will even exceed what their valuers were hoping to expect the values of the property to be. But we're looking forward to kind of just doing further videos and then showing you around as the progress goes on. So in terms of the floor above, on this side, on the right hand side, again is going to be 2 windows, and then at the back side 2 windows, and upstairs, effectively being a studio flat, is going to be all one big room which has got a kitchen as well as got a bathroom as well. So it's all one open plan kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. In terms of where the staircase will go, it's just going to carry on wrapping around from where it was before. So the minimum building regulation size of these staircase has to be, I think, is minimum of 90 centimeters width. So this has to be 90 centimeters, this has to be 90 centimeters, and then there has to be some landing area as well, that minimum space, and then that wraps around going up into the loft area. So that will be coming as well. So in terms of the whole staircase will all be replaced and then removed, and then a new staircase going up there. And as well, like I said, into the extensions on the backside, there will be staircases going into the backside on all of the floors as well. On the top floor is the only one, the studio flat floor is the only one we're not going to be doing a rear extension. Some of the neighbors have done rear extensions at the back on the top floor as well, but it doesn't make, if we can get that studio flat within the current space as it is, we don't need to extend it in any way. So we think we're going to just be happier just keeping it like this without having to extend on that extra floor, especially because we don't know what kind of extra kind of structural support would be needed to go an extra four floors up. So at the moment it was already ground first and second. That'll be 3 floors, which we've already got the approval for. So it will just be as it is like this, basically within this floor plan as it is. So as we've got the builders downstairs on the ground floor, we're not really going to tour that area with me, but on that ground floor, there's also a basement going downstairs into that basement. The basement ceiling height is only 1.7 meters high, so I'm like 1.8, 1.9. So if you, I can't even stand up there straight. But that area is going to actually be used for cycle storage, because none of the flats are going to have any car spaces due to the limited space that's available. So the council have agreed for cycle storage in that basement area. So again, the builders are doing the removal of rubbish and things like that. But in that area as well, there is the gas meter and the water meter. So those two things we need to have access for all of the flats. So there will need to be a communal area in the entrance going down into that basement area as well, for all of the flat owners to be able to have access to read the meters as well as their cycle storage. In the back, in the garden, there is an outbuilding already, which the builders are currently demolishing, and they're going to be building a 5.5 meter extension in the back by 5.5 meter extension. And there is also some bamboo in the back of the garden, which this bamboo is like kind of what it's not Japanese knotweed, but so it's not as invasive or as bad, but that needs to be dug out and then removed. And so all of that will also need to be removed as well. So here, this is the back of the shop actually. You can see it's full of all of this rubble that's come out. I'm standing on top of this rubble right now as we're waiting for the skips to be able to come. But this area will actually be an open plan living room kitchen. So the kitchen will be here where this rubble is. And it's going to be an L-shaped kitchen. And then on that side, it's going to be, this L-shaped. And then there's going to be like a living room area as well. And then at the back of the property is going to be the 2 bedrooms where we're going to be doing the extension. So it's quite interesting how they've remove the rubbish, but just it needs to be all taken out. We've got a lot of people that's going to be working on removing all this quite heavy stuff. So okay, so here we're at the back of the shop currently, which is where we're going to be doing the extension work. Currently there's access to the basement, which is via the communal area, which is what's going to be for the cycle storage, the utility cupboard, and where we'll also house things like for potentially managing the broadband and the fiber optic cables, so that it's going to have the best possible speeds possible for everyone. At the back of the property, we've got this building. This area will still be utilized. It's not going to be demolished. The behind of this area will be demolished, but this area will actually become this area here will become a bathroom. So this area in this corner where I'm standing right now will be the bathroom area. There'll be a corridor walking down, and then the 2 bedrooms will be at the back in the extension in the garden, which we're going to go through. At the back you can go through. At the back it's just currently it's a toilet, but this is going to be the walkway for the extension. This whole area is going to be bathroom. I think I'm going to put 2 bathrooms here. Okay, yeah, so we'll come through to the garden area. So if you see, they've removed this outbuilding at the back, which is good. So we removed this outbuilding at the back, which was here. So all of this needs to all go. This is where we're going to do that extension, 5.5 meter extension. And then this area, this is like this bamboo that's rubbish that all needs to be dug up and removed. It's quite deep. We need to go maybe about 1 meter down to remove that. And then the trench foundation will be going in line with where that building is. It'll be like that, 5.5 meters there, this extension. So if you look at the building from the backside, even you can see how the neighbors is in line with ours. So you can see that from the backside, pretty much, I think the building will require repointing potentially, just from the back's perspective. Or we could do K rendering at the back, because it's a conservation area, so we're allowed to do what we want at the back in a sense, because it's not visible to the public outside. So if we were to render it, it might look nicer from the back. We'll have above this extension, we'll have the balcony. Above that extension, we'll have the balcony. And then on the top floor, there'll be a mansard loft. From the backside, unfortunately, there's no access to the property. So that's why for rubbish collection and stuff, it's a little bit difficult to get the rubbish out. So that's why the skips is probably the only way forward for us, which we're doing the license for. But if we had that access from the back, it would be even better, because we could get like a grab lorry or something to come from the back, but unfortunately we don't. There was also planning permission in this back garden to have a shed, but we don't believe it makes sense to really put the shed there, because the cost of the shed might be £30,000, £40,000, but it's not really going to get any extra rent. It's not really going to add that much value to the property, so we're likely just not going to build the shed out. If the owner, whoever we sell that flat to on the ground floor, wants to build this extension in the back, potentially we can allow that as freeholders of the building. But yeah, for us to make this outbuilding doesn't make sense. So we're just going to stick to just developing the internal parts of the house itself.